Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts alike, this is the only land, and we are back with a performance review for the Jordan Tatum 1s. Before I get into that, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button if you like what you've seen before or you like what you see today. And before we jump into that, I want to show you guys what I wore recently. I just put out a video not with Uncle Scoop. I just happened to be there at the tournament. My friends played in the tournament. The finals I'll put the video up here. Uncle Scoop was there and I was wearing these. Alright, so I just want to show you guys what I had on feet. These are the Flight, I don't even remember the name of these sneakers. Flight, this is the only pair that I've ever had. I figured it was Flight 95s. The Air Zoom Flight 95s, the Supreme ones. I didn't actually really like these. I'm not gonna lie to you. I bought these to resell them, kept them. Very uncomfortable. They were very uncomfortable, but let's see if I keep them around. So that's that. Now let's hop right into these. And we can start off with what I always love to start off with, which is the traction. And I've discussed what the traction is. If you guys want to, first of all, I've discussed what the colorway is. So this is the pink lemonade colorway. You can see that in the last video I talked about the Tatums, and in the video before that I discussed what's actually in these, what's in the shoe. So the traction has like a wavy pattern up here on the rubber portions, and then on the foam portions, because it is split up, right? So what they did was, I'm sorry, on the foam you got like a, reminds me of like a thumbprint type thing on the heel here. But what they did, and like I said, I talked about it in that video, that first Tatum video, is they're using foam for the traction, right? So you have two pieces, these two translucent pieces right here. These are actual rubber pieces, and then the rest of this is foam. And if you've ever, there's only one other shoe that I remember that I can think of that I've played in that does that, and that's the Curry's, right? So the Curry 10s, the Curry 9s, I believe those are the only two where they just use the foam. I don't think it's just the colorway, because I've heard the same thing from others, but depending on like the compound, the foam compound, it's gonna wear down. And for these, it wore down fairly quickly, and I didn't play in these outside at all. So no time outside. I got 24 hours in these, as I always do, and it was wearing down. It's wearing down pretty significantly. Now for me, that hasn't affected the traction. I know some people said like they were getting some heel slippage. I didn't feel any heel slippage traction wise at all, but it's wearing down pretty rapidly. 24 hours realistically is not that much time. Yeah, the foam, 24 hours isn't that much time. If you're buying one sneaker for like your season, you're gonna get in way more than 24 hours when you think about practices, and you think about tournaments, you think about games. You're gonna get in way more time than 24 hours. This is like a month's worth of basketball, and it's not like heavy basketball if you think about when I caught these sneakers. And I had this before. I haven't played basketball in a week, so I've had this performance review done for a little bit. It's gonna wear down. Unfortunately, that just seems like what it is. This isn't the only colorway that I've heard it happen. It's gonna wear down. I have wear right here in the toe area. I have wear on the side, like where I make stops. I have wear in the front too. I don't even feel like I use the front like that. The forefoot, like right here specifically on both sides, right there. And then I also have wear in the heel and in the midfoot on my right shoe. It's like somebody was chopping at it a little bit, like somebody taking the razor and like cutting it slowly. It's like a decent chunk. I'm not gonna lie, there's a decent chunk missing from the midfoot of my right foot there. And then you can just see where it's wearing down in the back and the heel there. Like right here, bro. Like there's not even holes anymore, because like when you grab it, there's holes there for the traction, the grip. There's not even holes there anymore, and it actually feels strangely smooth. Like it should not be that smooth for you to be able to get traction. But as of right now, I'm not really suffering from traction. I'm doing pretty good. We can move on. I was gonna say something else, but I keep that till the end. So for the cushioning here, like I discussed, it is this foam. It's a fairly soft foam to me. I've heard it suggested that it could be a Phylon. I don't know. They didn't really give many details as to what's in this sneaker, to be quite frank with you. So you have that, and then you have the support system. You have the support system, and then you had the air. I believe, what was the exact verbiage they used for that? It was like unlocked, air zoom unlocked or something. Hold on, I'm gonna get it for you guys right now. It was an uncaged zoom air unit in the forefoot. Bro, this zoom air unit was really nice. was really nice. And I'm gonna go back to my notes to get the exact verbiage for what I use. I said 4-foot cushioning ain't bad was what I said for the first hour and a half. And then once I moved on to that next, I said you can feel the 4-foot cushion under toes. I said it reminds me a lot of unlocked zoom, but just not as bouncy. If you guys know what unlocked zoom is, that's this stuff here. That's this stuff here. That's from the 28s. I believe these are the 28s. These are one of my favorite basketball sneakers of all time. I put these up there like top 2, top 3 sneakers of all time because of just the way that unlocked zoom was in there. Bro, crazy. And I believe the verbiage was unlocked zoom. That was nuts. And this feels very similar in regards to that zoom back. It was really nice. I feel like because of the angle of the shoe, you kind of get your foot in there, and it's a nice feeling. You feel like you dip in there, and it doesn't, because you get that dip feeling. I don't feel like it takes away too far. Takes too much away. Jesus Christ, takes too much away from the from your court feel. So that's not bad at all. The foam in the heel wasn't bad. I didn't think it was anything super bouncy. I've discussed recently in my recent performance reviews how certain foams are. You talk about the Luka ones. They have the Formula 23. Not bad. But it's not bad when you compare it to what you got in like the NB 0.1s, and I'm only pointing over there because that's what you got there. And then what you had in the Trey ones, which was the Light Strike and Boost. Like, compared to those, it's like, it's okay, right? It's not a bad foam. It's not gonna hurt, but it's okay. And then from there, we did talk a little bit about it, and we'll talk some more about it. The support. The support system here, they did not even tell you what it was. They said it was like a TPU's based kind of like chassis system, and you can actually see directly through. You can see directly through the shoe. I'll give you guys better images of that, but I can damn near, no, not damn near. Look, my fingers on that side. You can see my finger damn near coming out the sneaker. So like there's nothing in there that your foot is resting on, that your midfoot is resting on. There's like a little bit of firmness on like on the bottom. They put directly under the material. It's like a plasticky type piece, and then there's this, right, which sits between the foam pieces. There's like a solid TPU plate which is between the foam pieces here, and I actually saw a breakdown of it. I don't remember where the picture was from. I'll put it up here, and it shows exactly how the system is. So it's like here, and then there's a piece here as well, so like you get stability, right? This isn't gonna break on you. I assume you're gonna have to be pretty heavy. I assume they tested the weight of how much it can hold, and I assume it's gonna hold pretty well, but it does feel a little weird at first, right? You step in and you're like, whoa, what is this feeling? Like I can feel plastic under my foot, but it's something that you just get used to. I only watched one other review, and I didn't hear that they didn't enjoy it. Like nobody. I watched one other review and I read the comments in the review. Nobody said that they didn't like it, right? It was just kind of like a getting used to process that you kind of felt that, you're like, this is weird. Not painful, and then after a while it's just like, all right, I barely even noticed this. It is just different, is what I would say. It's a different feel than you'll get from the vast majority of sneakers, because you're just not on your midfoot. It's never just like that, right? So that being said, that means there is no torsional bar. Some people like that. I don't really care for it. Like, it's not the most important thing to me. So that does mean you can do one of these. I don't like. What does that mean? Like, I guess you don't have much stability moving this way. That's fine for me. I'm not. Who does that with their feet? Like, it's fine. You even have this little piece up here. It's like a plastic mixed with foam, and then you have this plastic here as well, which runs in through here, and you can feel that it'll keep you on the footbed. So you don't have to worry about your foot moving too much on the footbed. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Without a torsional bar, you will be perfectly fine. And that's what it is with support. I will also talk about the laces when it comes to support. The laces, you guys know how I feel about flat laces. And most flat laces just don't perform. Like, they're just not that great. Unless you have some type of like grippy material in there where they can grip together to each other, they're not that great. I would say these aren't that great because you can, right? You can tie the forefoot after the material breaks down, because the material does take a little bit to break down. I will tell you that. It's not too long, but it does take a little bit to break down. Or to break in, should I say. But once you get that, you can tie these super tight. You can tie these very, very tight. It's just keeping them tied is so annoying. I don't know what it is, but as hard as you want to tie them, like they'll get loose. In the middle of the game, they will get loose at least once. During your session, if you have a 2-hour session, you have a 3-hour session, you're going to tie your shoes at least once, if not more. I don't want to double lace them. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to double lace my shoes. I feel like I don't have to do that unless the laces are super long. So I single lace them and they come loose. They come loose enough where it's like, okay, I have to tell people about this because it is a thing that exists. But it's not the end of the world. Having to tie your shoes, it's not a shoe killer for me. But it is something, like among the negatives, we're going to talk about the traction wearing down, and we're going to talk about the laces. Those are like the negatives. Now the material that you have here, I forgot what it's called. They called it like some type of weave. Lightweight, mesh knit upper is what they called it. On the what do you call it? On the press release. Jesus Christ. A mesh knit upper is what you called it. A mesh knit upper is what they call it in the press release. I heard them say another name for it in the performance review that I watched, but I don't remember what it was. And to be quite frank, it's not that important. It's a mesh, right? It's a mesh, and once it breaks in, it breaks in. Like this. Look at this. This is nothing where you're gonna be like, damn, it's so stiff, I can't handle it. It breaks in very well. You do have a looser one here and a tighter one here, so you can stay on the footbed there. But you're not gonna have any issues when it comes to support or really breathability. I didn't have any breathability issues with that because along with that like thinner mesh up here, you do have the holes here on the tongue, and these are actual holes, right? You know, sometimes you'll see like the foam, and it's foam where it allows air through, but it's not an actual hole. No, you have actual holes in there, so you're gonna get more than enough breathability. And one of the keys for the shoe was they wanted to cut down materials to keep them light. I know some people felt like they were super light. I didn't feel that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, compared to like the other stuff that Jordan Brand came out with, the Zion 2s, the Luka 2s, which I wouldn't say were heavy, but these are lighter than those. But they made it seem like, oh, this is the lightest shoe ever. No, it's just the lightest shoe that they have out now for their performance models. But it wasn't nothing crazy. Now, if you feel that, then you feel it. I've seen some people say that they can feel that it was light. Pause if that needed a pause. But they're light enough, right? They're going to get the job done regardless. But I think that's it. Honestly, I can't think of another thing that involves performance that you guys really need to know about. In my country girl accent. No, I think that's it. I like them, man. I'll tell you right now, I like them. They're one of my favorite. They're kind of my favorite sneaker out right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Out right now that I perform sessions that you guys have seen me test. These are my favorites right now. I did enjoy the LeBrons. The LeBrons are still in my bag. I cannot deny that. These are for sure gonna go in my bag. They might replace the LeBrons. Because I feel they're actually a little bit lighter, and I do like the way that zoom unit feels in the forefoot. And you know, LeBron doesn't have that. I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't have a zoom unit in there. So I think these are gonna replace those. The LeBrons are gonna end up in this pile over here, and this is gonna work into that rotation along with some other shoes that I have to performance test. Those unboxings might be out already, or they might not be. I know this one is already out, so you know this is on there. There's another sneaker that I just did the video for yesterday. That's what I'm gonna be working with tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But for these, obviously these are like I'm gonna say these are like an 8. I'm gonna give these an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 with, I feel like, possibilities to be like higher than that, like an 8.5, 9. But the way the foam is gonna wear down, it's tough. It's tough. I do want to grab another pair of these. I know that's crazy. I would love another pair of pink lemonades, but those sold out. If you were looking for a pair, before we end this, they're a little long. I'm not gonna lie to you. Pause, but they're a little long. I would have, for me personally, I would suggest to go in stores and grab a pair, but you can't because they're selling out like crazy, right? I assume they're not gonna be sitting in stores. So, my suggestion, go half the size that, and stick with your true to size, because if you stick with your true to size, you'll be able to tighten them enough and you're not going to feel that much slippage. So I'm going to give you exactly what I did. They were a little long. I tightened them up once the material's loosened, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not slipping in these. I'm cool with the way it is right now. They're not wide and they're not thin. Like they fit just right. So I feel like if you go half a size down, you might have trouble with like your pinky toe or them being a little bit too tight. So stick with your true to size. Just tighten the forefoot a little bit and you'll be alright. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you like what you've seen before or you like what you saw today. I am the only Landon. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one.